My name is Reverend Eric Booker, and we're here at Greater Tabernacle Cathedral. And this is 113th and King Drive. It's just west of historic Pullman area. This is sort of known as a West Pullman region.
Okay, and what brings you here?
Well, today we're revitalizing the grotto, as well as the landscaping that surrounds the grotto. An amazing endeavor by a collaboration of wonderful people in the name of memory of loved ones, but particularly Chris, a gentleman who approached us quite some time ago and was interested in, at the time that he came, he was sort of trying to find out who the owner was. You know, the property had been vacant for years, and he knocked on the door one day and he said, who's the owner? Who's the pastor here? And I said, well, I'm the assistant pastor, how can I help you? He said, well, I'm trying to find out who the owner is because we've been looking at the grotto and the landscaping, and we'd love to come together and revitalize it and plant some wonderful arrangements and perennials and just make it an asset to the area. And we met 2 weeks from that date. And the rest is history. And so now the project is officially underway, and it's affectionately called Gardening in the Grotto. Well, our church was founded in 1956 by my dad. He was Elder O.C. Booker at the time. And he founded the church on the west side of Chicago. And at the time, he was working at UPS, and I'll fast forward. We started a school ministry in Morgan Park area, and we educated children from 1976 till about 2014. Over time, it became evident that the cost of education and what the parents were paying, it was very difficult to support the mission. And so the Lord began to talk to Dad about, reframing his contribution to society. And so the season for education ended, and the search began for a location to worship. And so we began looking at different places and exploring different facilities. And it just seems like wherever we went, it wasn't just the right fit. And so we found this place. We had seen it on a number of real estate sites and had sort of passed it over, but we sort of revisited after a while. And in walking through the place and in meeting with Father Mark, it was just a marriage that was intended. And so we've been in here for about a month, and the community so far has embraced us. So it's been a very great experience, and we're really looking forward to the differences that we can make in this West Pullman area.
Yeah, it's a wonderful story. I'm thrilled to be a part of it, and thank you again for sitting down with us, to sharing some of your background with us. Okay, so this originally or before your congregation took over, bought it, purchased it from the Archdiocese. It was Our Lady of Roseland, is that correct?
Well, actually, it was Holy Rosary Church.
Holy Rosary, okay.
Yeah, Holy Rosary, which was originally a school. A school and a church, I should say. The church was built in 1890. Very historic. It's very reminiscent of the architecture that's in the Pullman area. In fact, Mr. Pullman provided the architect who designed the building. And so it's very reminiscent of the structure the structures that are in Pullman.
Okay, that's great.
When we were touring the place the first time, we saw this article in the lobby with a picture of former President Barack Obama. And as we read the article, we noticed that there was, the entire article was about his launch into community activism. And there was a portion that indicated that his office was in the Holy Rosary Church. So when he, began to develop an interest to work in community activism, he approached the father at that time and said, "Hey, I'd like to have some office space here." And they gave him a very humble little office right here on campus, and just an amazing piece of history. He spent quite a few years here. There's an interesting little story, if you don't mind, but when he sort of just began his community activism here in the church, he needed a pen. And he was looking around the office for a pen, and he went across the hall into another administrator's office, and he pulled a few drawers, and the woman walked in and she said, "Well, sir, can I help you?" And he said, "Oh, I'm sorry, I'm just trying to get a pen." And she said, "Okay, well, go back to where you are." And so as the story goes, fast forward to the President Barack Obama. She visited the White House, and she met him, and they reconciled their relationship. And she said, "I'd love to go through your drawers and search for a pen." So what an amazing story. But it all began right here at Holy Rosary Church. Yeah, so the project is dedicated to the memory of Bridget Cullinan and Kathleen McGowan. And that was sort of the premise that Chris Devane, approached me on, to sort of beautify the grotto in the name of their memory. There are so many levels of why this is just such an amazing, happening in the community. First and foremost, to the memory of those wonderful women. But additionally, it beautifies the community that in some cases is disparaged. The community is on the uprise, but currently it's disparaged in some areas. And so certainly it beautifies the community. It also allows the opportunity for folks from different backgrounds and such different cultures, different races to come together and work toward a common good. And so that's exciting. Just all of the wonderful relationships that we've created from this are just magnificent. And so we're scheduled to have an unveiling somewhere in the spring coming. And I'm really excited for that day, because to unveil all of the finished product from all this coming together is just going to be amazing for the community. And it's just going to be a reminder that we're better together.
Absolutely, and that's yes, we are stronger with our diversity, makes us stronger as a community and as a nation.
Absolutely. First I'll say I cannot emphasize enough just how amazing, this entire effort is, and just how indicative it is of just how God works. It seems as if the Lord had designed for all of us to come together, and after we all collectively came together, there was such a warm relationship. There was such camaraderie. There was just such I received them so very well. They received us so well, and so the unity was just like that of something God would certainly be proud of. And so we're very, very excited about that. So of course, we'll welcome any members of West Pullman area, Chicagoland area, anywhere to visit Greater Tabernacle Cathedral. Again, we're here at 113th and King Drive, and our worship services are on Sundays. And we start with Sunday school at 8:30. And that's when it's a typical Bible study series. It's divided by ages and such. And then morning worship is immediately after at 10 a.m. And then we have a midweek Bible study at 7 a.m. on Wednesdays. And of course, if folks want to find out about us, we're on Facebook. And that's where you'll look. It's Greater Tabernacle Cathedral on Facebook. And then, of course, you can call the church at 773-264-9000.
alright.